Hello there, my name's Chris Dangerfield. Welcome to my channel. It's been a long time since I've done well. It's been a long time since I've started one at this time of night, so I'm a bit aware of noise. It's about 3 a.m. But I was suddenly inspired. Thanks to all the new patrons. They're coming in daily, flooding me. It's like a bed of insufficient funds. I've realised that I might be able to do this full time if it carries on like this in about 20 years. Oh yeah, I'll jack in the day job. I thought I'd tell you about a car chase I was in. I've only ever been in one car chase. I said that like I was gutted. I regret not having more. And with a lot of my stories, I've got to be careful. I'm not glamorising this, and I'm not. It was fucking brilliant. It's a balancing act, really. It was amazing. It's in the past, and I got away with it, and I wasn't really complicit. But terrifying, very dangerous, many opportunities for innocent people to be killed. I get all that. I try to acknowledge that, but I'd also be lying if I didn't say that it was exhilarating, terrifying, and you know you're alive when you're doing 90 miles an hour through crowded traffic, wrong way round a roundabout, about 6 old Bill vehicles behind you and helicopters. Yeah. So I'll tell you what happened. So I met this bloke called Jamie in a rehab centre in Dartford, and he was one of life's losers. I mean, he'd had it pretty rough. He'd had a pretty rough old life, and lived with his nan. Parents didn't want to know. He'd been on the smack and crack since he was about 12. No education, nervous as hell, could barely speak, had no awareness of his nerves though, so he couldn't quite work out why he was a gibbering wreck. And sort of, he was all front, but even the front was so delicate and beaten through years of drug use and prison. You know, he'd been in like Borstalls and that, like teenage prisons, care homes, all the usual shit is so common, all that, you know, before drug addiction. And we sort of got on in there. I mean, I think we turned up around the same time and our beds were next to each other in the dorm. So, you know, when you're up at night smoking snouts that you shouldn't be having, you get chucked out for that. But you've been awake for 4 days. You do this thing with your duvet. It's like camping. It's 2 of you under a duvet. One of you's keeping an eye and you're just trying to blow the smoke into the duvet. Then one of you goes and empties it out the window. That's nonsense, but it's almost to get rid of the boredom. And I think he got chucked out, or he left. Something happened, and I didn't see him for a couple of years. And the key workers centre, when you're on a prescription, when you're scripted out on like Subutex or methadone or something, you have to go and see a key worker as part of the deal. It's so you have a point of contact, and it gives the illusion that they're trying to help you. I mean, understaffed, and the staff, my experience of key workers, lovely people, but useless, you know. They just have a chat with you. I don't know if that helped, you know, not psychotherapy, literally just what you've been up to. And you'd ask them, and I remember my bloke would just be going, oh, you know, not much, I went out the other night and just, yeah, nice one anyway, thanks, can you give us a tick in the box so I can get the next month's script? And they're notorious places for meeting people to score with, borrow money, you know, all the usual stuff, because there's always a steady stream of junkies going in and out. And I was up there once and I see that Jamie, and I was like, hello Jamie, you alright? And he was like, yeah, I'm just trying to get hold of a bit of money, you know, I'm not feeling too good, I need to score really, what are you up to? And I said, well, I got 40 quid, I can get you a bag if you can drive. He went, I've got a car and everything. I knew he didn't live in the area, so I assumed he'd driven. And so we've gone around a corner and it's this nice car. It's not his. And by not his, I don't mean he's borrowed it. This is 100% a stolen vehicle. I don't know. It's an Audi. What are they called? Audi, the little compact one. I'm not really a car man, but I could tell, you know, it was at most 3 years old. And it wasn't his, and it wasn't even mentioned. And he said he was going to drive down, put some petrol in the car, and he'll drive to his nan's and see if he can get some money. Now, I'd already heard the story in rehab where he pushed his nan over and took her wedding ring off her to pawn it for drugs. So Yeah, not nice really going to see his nan. I wasn't allowed in the house either. I could hear her at the door going, "Not having those bloody junkies in here." I was thinking, steady on, steady on. Anyway, he's come out a bit more shouting. He's come out about 10 minutes later and he went, "Yeah, I'm alright, I've got 30 quid. So we drive off and we've got to go all the way to Lewisham. I mean, I don't know why I didn't have a closer score at the time, but, you know, this sort of stuff happens. People come and go, they disappear, or you've knocked someone, or they've knocked someone, and you can't go in that area. Endless dramas. A lot of drug therapists will tell you the addiction to drama is often equally significant as the addiction to a substance. I remember a clinic in Belgravia was giving me morphine amps. You know, that's the pinnacle of scripts. Well, diamorphine would have been the pinnacle, but you know, it's the perfect prescription to get an opiate. Morphine or diamorphine, you know, it's top end. And I was so bored because I'd go to the chemist and get it and go home and have it and sit around. And I missed all the running around on the estates over in Abbey Wood. And it's mad because when I was having to do that, I was sick to death of it. You know, just sitting there, just fucking hours on end. Suddenly, just sitting at home, all no problem. It was just, yeah, a very, very, very weird set of psychological paradoxes and ambivalence, I suppose. Anyway, so we're zooming up to Lewisham and he's drinking. He's got, not heavily, but you shouldn't really be having a can of supertenants in the carts. And we're sitting in this bit of road about half a mile away from Lewisham, and we're just sitting there and this old Bill van pulls up next to us, full of old Bill. And so we're suddenly just like, not statues. And I go, Jay, you seen the old Wildo next to us? And he's like, yeah, it's alright. And then suddenly, boom, they've just put the things on. There's a squad car behind them. And as soon as they do that, that means stop. We want to ask you some questions. And so I just went to him. I just went, right, just fucking... And as soon as I said that, he just went... gone. And I was fucking terrified. And I couldn't even say anything. I was sort of going... And I thought, even if I can speak, what am I going to say? Jay, have you thought about just stopping and getting arrested in your blatantly stolen car? And you know the almost certain warrants they're out for you? Because, you know, think about me here, mate. You know, you're fucked. No, he's gone. And then it's... And then you've got all the oscillating, interweaving sirens behind you. And I could just see the speeder going... and the revs, and he's changing gear. This is a man who's done this before, you know, and this is where the, what would you call it? This is where my experience of the situation started to change, because I was wickedly impressed at his driving skills. I don't drive. I've burnt a VW Beetle down a college drive in first before, pissed, but I can't drive a car. And to watch him, his feet were going mad, one hand on the wheel, and it's all sort of spinning through his hands. And this, and then I could feel the back of the car go, and we were like being chucked around. I put my seatbelt on. Yeah, gangster number one. Steady on, Jay. I just want to put my seatbelt on. I put my seatbelt on and I put it on tight as well. I put my thing under, you know, the bit to move the seat. I've moved the seat back, thinking if I go forward, you know, I'm thinking, you know, it did go through my head that I could die. This could kill me. This, you know, he doesn't give a shit about anything, really, poor old Jay. And at some point, we could hit something and just go... People die in car crashes. We could hit someone, you know. I can't see him being too bothered. Oh, is there someone around the corner there? Hey. And then he starts telling me to look out for turnings. He's going, look out, tell me where to go. Now, I know Lewisham. I had a girlfriend lived there for a while. And so he's trying to keep an eye on things close to him, cars pulling out and all that, and he wants me to try and tell him where to go. And I'm mad panicking, and there's all these, they're all coming behind us, and you can see now people ahead of us are looking because, oh, what's all that noise? And then they see us, and it's... My heart was going just insane. But like I say, there was an element where I just was I must have just been full of adrenaline and dopamine, serotonin. My mind had told my body, you're terrified. It had put it into some strange shock. I'd been flooded with, ironically, drugs to, I suppose, protect me from fainting, or to protect me were we to crash, maybe painkillers, I don't know, but an extreme intensity, without doubt. And so I'm saying to him, we're coming up to a roundabout. There's a big roundabout up here. Now, I mean big roundabout. 3 lanes of traffic all around it. It's the bottom of Lewisham Way, if you know the area, like 2 of my subs probably do. But 5 or 6 roads congest there, and a very busy train stations there as well. So you've got all the taxis coming in and out, all the buses coming in and out, the main road in, the main road through town, which is one we're coming on, the main road from, I think, the A2 out of central London. Oh, it's chocker. And the roundabout is slightly raised. The actual roundabout is probably about 150 foot across on a hump as well. And we're coming up to it, and he's going, we're from there. And I said, you want to go round that and take your third on the left? I said, it's basically that way. Weirdly, I've turned round to look to see what's going on, and a terrifying sight, because there's loads of police cars, a couple of other, I've been gibbering, but we've probably been travelling for about a minute, and a minute's a long time and a long way when you're going at that speed. And a few other vehicles have joined the chase. There's the van, the original van, and I think maybe at least 3 other squad cars zooming up behind us, all sirens, all lights going, all the other traffic's getting out of the way. You could tell you were the main event. Everyone, any human you can see is looking at you. People are coming out of shops to see what's going on. And again, the cars all sort of, when you're going at that speed, it's not like, no cruise control. It's always holding steady onto the wheel, and he's nervous, and just bringing it back. Got to the roundabout, oh silly bollocks, I could tell he must have thought, I know, I'll go round the roundabout the wrong way. That'll confuse them. We've all done this kind of thing on games, where you're weaving in and out of oncoming traffic, and luckily it was a roundabout. Sounds like a weird thing. Oh, luckily it was a roundabout, but going up a dual carriageway or something, or the wrong way, no. So the traffic was rather slow, and of course that's why the sirens are all going. It's kind of a warning to people ahead. So we've gone. He's taken the right, and he's sort of going around that way. Struck a couple of vehicles, not head on, but as he's sort of pulling over, you can say, and the noise, when you're in a car that's, it's like an echo chamber, and it's, the chassis is the strong part, the body is just old tin in it. It's just like, and he's gone round it once, and of course they're not silly, they've just waited, and as he's gone all the way round it and joined the actual road we wanted, it's almost like they just sat there and went, yeah, it'll be round here in a couple of seconds, and then just the chase carried on. Zooming up, when I'd looked out the back, I'd noticed that there was a couple of like industrial size sort of brushed aluminium or brushed steel pots. I remember thinking they looked really nice, and I thought, well, they're not his, they were in the car. I thought, I'll have them. I thought that'd be quite nice, when you're in that world, anything you can get for free. I thought I'd take them back to my mum and go, look, I've got you some of these if ever you want to cook rice for a family of 50. And I remember thinking that, and then he's gone to me, because now we're going down this straight, and I'm saying, you want to go down here for about another mile? And of course, all the time he's accelerating, and there's more like cars coming towards us now, are like pulling away out of our way. So it's kind of easy street, but you have got all the side roads and cars. They don't know what's going on. They're sort of pulling out, and it's mad. You just see them pull back. And he's going, throw something at them, fucking stop them, fucking throw something at them. When he said that, I'm thinking, up until this point, I'm just a hitchhiker. If we get caught, when we get caught, if we're not being taken out of here in a box, I thought, mate, I met him at I went to see my key worker, and he said he'd give me a lift into London. I don't know what all this is. I've got nothing on me I've got no warrants out for me. I'm carrying nothing. So up until this point, no, nothing. What are they going to charge me for? Sitting there. But as soon as I'm throwing things at them, no, you can't get away with that. And I'm thinking, shit, and he's fucking screaming at me, and he went, chuck that pot out the window at him. And I'm thinking, oh man, I don't need this. And I'm thinking, I can keep everyone happy here, except myself, obviously. I thought, if I get it, I'll open the window and I'll sort of launch it, but I'll just go sideways rather than backwards. I mean, what he expected it to do, I don't know, wedge under the front of their thing. You know, it's ridiculous. So I've opened the thing, and as I've just sort of like, just sort of dropped it down. Of course, it's hit the floor. We're going at such a speed, it's pinged up off the smack right into the grill of the old bill van. Luckily not the windshield. If that had done the windshield, it would have shattered. No, it's just gone bang, and he went fucking wicked. And I was just going, oh fuck, now I'm fucked. Now what's that? Assaulting 10 police in a vehicle or something. Now I'm thinking, that's it, you fucking idiot. Can I get away with that as an accident? Anyway, now I can hear an helicopter as well. That's just come out of nowhere, and it's above us. It's almost certainly for us. In fairness, you do get a lot of helicopters in London, but it's there, and they're all there. And I said to him, I remember saying, after the big, I can't remember how I distinguished it, but I remember there was it was like a churchyard or something, some kind of old Victorian kind of thing. I said, after that you want to spin a left. I said, but this is going to take you into a little new estate. Once we're in there, you're going to have to do a cut, you know, all this. I said, that's where you're going to have to lose them. And I to be honest with you, I just wanted to get off the main road before we or someone else died. And the corners he was taking, what he kept doing, he kept whacking the brakes, slowing us down. They'd slow down, turning it so that they're thinking we're turning, and then just pull it out of it and zoom off again. He'd done that a few times. I don't know whether it threw him off the centre or anything. I imagine they're quite well versed in the predictable tricks of a junkie car chase merchant. Finally, our one's coming. I was going, it's this one, 30 metres, 20 metres, 10 metres, go. And it's proper G-force, you know. I felt like my old was going, and overshot it. The rear end has shot out, and again impressed as hell with the driving, because he'd accounted for it. Because the trick is, I'm assuming you take the corner late, because if you take it too early, they've got plenty of time to join you. But if you overshoot it, and then you're basically driving back on yourself. So if you're looking at it from above, there's the corner. You want to do that, you want to turn into it. But what you actually do is overshoot it, let the back go out, and then you sort of turn him back. And he's done that, and we've got a bit of ground on them really since then. I think they probably slowed down because we're on a very busy main road, and forcing us, the old Bill would have been aware that he wasn't worried about going as fast as necessary to avoid them. So they kind of pulled back, maybe because of the helicopter as well. Kind of getting dark about now as well. But because of the helicopter as well, it's maybe like we can keep an eye on them. They ain't going anywhere. So he's pulled into this estate, and we're going in. Like I say, it's getting a bit dark. As he's got into the estate, he's dropped all the lights. So the old car's gone, you know, the interior light was on. That's off. Headlights are gone. Engine cut off. So now it's kind of spooky, because it's gone from a lot of noise, engine noise, siren noise, all the other traffic, to into this little estate, just the sound of tyres on tarmac, that weird sort of like... And I'm thinking, right, what? Don't forget anything. Where's my phone? Right, I've got my phone. Right, money's in my pocket, and I'm sort of just relaxing. I turn around, he ain't there. No shit. The driver's door's open, he's gone, and it's just sort of bumped into the curb, and it's not going fast enough to mount the curb. But weirdly, you know what? But weirdly, I got proper thrown forward. I had my seatbelt on, but even that little sort of front wheels nudging the curb was enough to... And I just was like, hello. And then he's gone. Get out. You've got to get out. So I pinged the seatbelt, got out, and I thought, where do I go? I go to the train tracks. If I can get over the train tracks, I can get to the station. I might be able to lose myself in the, I think it was probably about 7, 8 o'clock, rush hour. Commuters there, As I've got over towards the train tracks, I can hear him. He's going, Chris, help me, Chris. The train tracks have got like the fence either side. Well, this side of the train track goes up and then it comes out. So he's tried to climb up this side, but it goes outwards, and it's just rows and rows of razor wire, and he's just fucking. He must have just run at it and gone, no, thinking he could dive through it. I mean, he had that kind of, I can do this. You know, the car chase told me that. And he's just all looked up in it, and his coat's over here, and his something else, like, Chris. And all I could do, now this is brutal honesty, all I could do, really, two options. Climb up the fence and delicately unpick the razor wire from the 20 or so sites of incision, or just grab his legs and rip the fucker down. And a bit of me was happy to do the latter, because A, it was the thing that was going to stop us from getting nicked, stop me from getting nicked, certainly stop him from getting nicked, but it was also going to punish him. And a little bit of me wanted to go, you little shit. You know, it was only 10 minutes ago, and it's a long time to be avoiding the old bill in the middle of London. 10 minutes ago, I was just going to score, ready to get back home and make a cup of tea, and now I've got a heart beating through my chest. I've suddenly realised I've left my phone in the car, you know, with numbers on it like Mum. Oh, great. And still haven't scored, by the way. This has taken a while after going to his nan's, driving him, going to the petrol, waiting for to finish. You know, and this is that life. This is what they don't tell you when they say, oh, being a junkie's boring. This is just... The car chase was a highlight, of course, but the other 5 hours of listening to Jamie going, well, you know, I don't know about that bird. I ate that bird. The mercury, the methadone with the mercury in it, that's the one. It's the sugar-free one. It lasts longer. And it's like, fucking hell, man. So I've yanked him through, and it's basically ripped his jacket and shirt off him, and probably a layer of skin too. He came down. He looked like Jesus of Nazareth. Claret everywhere, sweating like a pig. For respect to him, though, he looked at me all skinny, broken, poor little Jay, and he went, thanks, mate. Oh, yeah, all right. No, you're all right. That's all right. Sprinted up the side of the... we can hear the old bill cars now, but not sirens, just them driving about on the... You know, we're only like, what, 100 foot away from where the car was stopped. But we've zoomed up under these bushes, found a bit to get across the tracks. Burnt it across the tracks, climbed up the other side. Of course, everyone on the platform's watching all this, but this is the furthest side along, which was the least busy. This was probably back into London, so at that time of night, you know, maybe 50 people. But once we'd run through the run through them and the sort of the main ticketing area, we got to the other side. It was absolutely rammo. Now this is going back. This has got to be 15, 16 years. You didn't have such the security camera situation you have now. I remember we had no concern for that. It wasn't like we were going to be followed all the way everywhere like you are in England now. I think England's got more CCTV per capita than anywhere else in the world. I have to research that if you give a shit. Anyway, so we're there. We both stopped. I'm pissing with sweat. I turned my coat inside out. I think this is going to protect me. But it's not a reversible coat. I'm just a bloke with a nasty charity shop junkie coat on, but now with the padded lining showing and the greying at the bottom. He's got nothing on top, just blood and scars and scratches. And he looks at me, and I go, right. I go, that's mine. And I see a train coming down, and I know that's train to Dartford. I go, right, that's mine. He went, what? I went, that's the Dartford, mate. He went, what are you talking about? I went, I've got to get the train. He went, you're joking, aren't you? He went, we got to score. Nah, no, we haven't. No. I'm going to get out of here because you just broke about 1,000 laws. And I threw an industrial-sized saucepan at a police van. So I'm going to get on that train. I'm going to go home and I'm going to probably buy some methadone off of... someone in Dartford. Yeah. So there you go. I don't advise it, but I don't not advise it. If you haven't subscribed and you like stories and you like the other stuff I do, think about subscribing. I've heard you also have to click the bell. Bing that bell if you want to be notified. Like the video. Consider donating to the Patreon. Oh yeah, 10 videos in the last 7 days. Oh, Oh my dear, oh my darling.